What's going on, my beautiful people? Thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. My name is Alex Garfe, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a pizza from scratch. Literally, I'm going to show you how to make the dough. I'm going to show you how to make the sauce. So if you guys enjoy these kind of videos, please make sure to click that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And with that being said, let's get into the kitchen. All right, guys, so to make this dough from scratch, here are the ingredients that we're going to be using. I got 2 cups of whole grain flour, 1 cup of regular flour, all organic. We have some yeast right here, about 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we have about 1 cup of warm water. So we're gonna start with the dry ingredients first, and I'm gonna add the sugar and the yeast. So we're gonna mix all these dry ingredients right now, and then we're gonna add the salt in here as well, and then we can begin adding the water. We can add the salt, mix it all up again. So you wanna make a little hole in this flour, and then we can start adding the water in slowly. So we added probably 3/4 of a cup, and then we just want to mix it up and just keep adding the water as you go to get all that dry flour soaked up. As you can see, it's all starting to come together here. Just trying to get all that flour off the edges. Now we're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil just so it doesn't stick. So now I'm just scraping the dough out of the bowl with my hand. I put some olive oil on my hand so we just won't have any sticking issues. So there's the dough, and now we're gonna put it on the flour here and start kneading it for 7 to 10 minutes. And if you need to use more flour, feel free. So I recommend you guys to wear some gloves unless you want your hands to look like this. So now we just wanna add a little bit of olive oil in here just so we prevent it from sticking to the bowl. Put the dough in there and move it all around and get it completely coated with that olive oil. So once you put it in the bowl, you want to cover it with some plastic wrap for 15 to 30 minutes so you can let it rise. Alright guys, so I told you we're making this pizza from scratch, and I wasn't lying. So now we're going to make the sauce from scratch, starting with a teaspoon of avocado oil, and then we're going to do 1 large garlic clove in here. And I got some strained tomatoes right here, and I'm going to do 2 cups of these for this sauce. And then just a splash of water. And now we're gonna add a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of oregano, and about a teaspoon of salt. And then we'll just put a little bit of black pepper in here as well. So now we're gonna mix it up, and then we're gonna put it on the stove and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. All right, so here are the toppings that I'm gonna be using for my pizza, starting with some tempeh, green and yellow peppers, red onion, jalapenos, and some mushrooms. Also have some Miyoko's vegan mozzarella that we're gonna put on there as well. So let's get started. All right, guys, let's take a look at our dough. It's been sitting for about 15 to 20 minutes. I want to poke a hole in it with my finger, and that's what you want to see right there. So this is good to go. We're going to start stretching this out in my cast iron pan, and we'll begin putting the toppings on this pizza. So this actually makes 2 pizzas, so I'm going to cut it in half for the one that I'm going to be making. You just want to form it into a ball here. We want to put it into the pan and just begin stretching it out. So if your dough is being stubborn and it keeps pulling back, just let it sit for a minute or two and it'll become softer and it'll continue to push towards the edges. And under the pan, I didn't mention, but I did have some avocado oil under there just so we don't have any sticking at all. And we're pretty much ready to go here. Now we're gonna dock the pizza. That way we create some holes in here so the heat can come through and cook the toppings. You can use a fork if you don't have a docker. It works just as well. And you just wanna cover the crust with all these holes. That way the heat can rise through. Here's that beautiful sauce we made. And you wanna push the sauce all the way to the edges. I used to work in a pizza place, so I know this, because that crust is also gonna rise. So push the sauce as far as you can to the edges, not all the way, but pretty close to it. So here's the vegan mozzarella that I have, and a pro tip, if you freeze this, you can grate it over and it makes a much better texture for the pizza. Now I didn't do this time, but a pro tip, you can put all your toppings into one bowl, mix them all up, and then you can add them in there. That way you can evenly disperse all the toppings. Now we're adding the protein source, the tempeh, and it's about half a block, but you don't have to add the whole thing. Now we're just adding these jalapenos on here, giving it a little bit of a spice and that tangy flavor. And since I was running low on the mozzarella, I got a little bit of VO Life cheddar here. It's for a little extra flavor. All right, guys, check it out. So here is the pizza. So we're gonna throw it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, and we got the oven preheated to 425. So let's get to baking. All right, guys, there is the final product. I'm about to cut it, and then let's get to eating. A little messy, but I guarantee it's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna sprinkle some nutritional yeast on here, and we should be good to go. Look at that, guys. That is a beautiful sight. Let's take a bite. Big old bite, jalapeno on there. Little tempeh, little onion. The dough is perfect. You probably can't see, but it's nice and airy. Got cooked all the way through. You guys can also buy your own dough, but I figured I'd provide some value and show you how to make a dough from scratch because it's so easy and it's literally 4 ingredients, I think. Flour, yeast, salt, sugar, water. So 5 ingredients. And olive oil, 6 ingredients. But nonetheless, it's very easy. So that concludes the video. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and leave a comment down below. Was this easy to follow along? Will you guys be making this? I would love to hear it. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. The deuce.